Dear listeners, do you know what the biggest lie in poker ever told is? It's not that poker's all skill. It's not that poker's all luck. Hell, it's not even that the river always gets there. No, no, no. No, the biggest lie in poker is when someone says aces are the best hand in poker. Really? The best? Because every time I look down at pocket aces, I don't feel excitement. I feel anxiety. And I start wondering, okay, how are these getting cracked? Maybe I just willed it into existence. Maybe I've just been playing this game too long. Or maybe poker has a sick sense of humor because there's only one thing poker's taught me. It's this. Being the favorite doesn't mean you're guaranteed to win. And honestly, life works the exact same way.
Good evening. It's now time to talk nitty to me with Poker Ryno. Yes.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Talk Nitty To Me. I'm your host, Poker Ryno. Today, we're going to talk about why my favorite hand in poker is objectively terrible, why I have trust issues with the best hand in poker, and how I still don't own a trophy. Oh, and somewhere in there, we're going to discuss my completely rational belief that Kelly Clarkson and I are destined to meet. So grab your favorite drink, pull up a chair, and let's get nitty. Before we talk about my sworn enemy, let's talk about my first love, 7-4 offsuit. The Trash Panda, as I call it. Now, for those of you who don't play poker, you're probably thinking, Ryno, that sounds like a terrible hand. You're absolutely right. It's awful. It's ugly. It's unsuited. It's disconnected. Every solver on the planet says fold. Professional poker players see 7-4 offsuit and toss it into the muck without thinking twice. Me? Well, me, I smile. Because people spend so much time chasing what's best, they forget to enjoy what's fun. The Trash Panda isn't my favorite hand because it's good. It's my favorite hand because of what it represents. Hope, chaos, confidence, the willingness to embrace uncertainty. Think about a raccoon for a second. Nobody walks outside hoping to see one. They're dirty, they're sneaky, they knock over trash cans, they steal food. They are absolute little gremlins. Yet somehow, they always figure it out. They survive. They're resilient. They don't care what anyone thinks. That's the Trash Panda. Every now and then, when a goofy little 7-4 offsuit drags a monster pot, you know what happens? The entire table loses its mind. People don't get angry because they lost. They get angry because they lost to that. And honestly, that's hilarious. Poker should be fun. It's okay to laugh. It's okay to embrace a little chaos. Because if poker ever stops being fun, what are we doing? Now let's talk about the hand I trust the least. Pocket freaking aces. I know! And yes, I also know that pocket aces are the best starting hand in Texas Hold'em. Let me say that before you jump into the comments. They're only dealt about once every 221 hands. Heads up before the flop, they're roughly an estimated 85% favorite to win against random hands. They're a mathematical masterpiece. But here's the thing. That means they still lose. A lot more often than people remember. Add another player, your odds go down. Add another player, they go down again. Poker has this incredible way of reminding us that being the favorite isn't the same as being guaranteed. And if you play poker enough, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The moment you peel back two black aces, instead of celebrating, your brain immediately starts prepping for emotional damage. You're already trying to figure out what ridiculous hand is about to crack me. And just this morning, poker reminded me why I feel that way. So, I'm playing the morning free roll and hijack poker. Nothing crazy, just enjoying some cards with my morning coffee. Then something happens that I honestly only seen a couple of times. One player wakes up with pocket aces. Another wakes up with pocket jacks. Another player wakes up with pocket queens, and yours truly, Mr. Reyes, pocket kings. 4 premium pocket pairs at one table in one hand. If you pitch that to Hollywood, they tell you it was too unrealistic. The money goes in. Everyone's feeling great. Except someone's about to have their heart ripped out. Pocket aces end up jamming all in without us knowing what they have, obviously. So, all of us call. Re-raise after re-raise after re-raise, all in, all in, all in. Okay, the flop comes. Queen, 3, 4. Well, that's not ideal. Queen's flop top set. Okay, maybe we can still catch up. Turn 8. River, 5. That's it. Pocket aces lose, pocket kings lose, pocket jacks lose, queen scoop the whole thing. Think about that. 4 premium hands, the literal Mount Rushmore of starting hands, and the one that everyone fears the most doesn't even come close. The poker gods just leaned over like smirking and saying, cute, watch this. And honestly, that's exactly how I feel about life sometimes. You do everything right. You study, you prepare, you save money, you make responsible decisions. Instead of the cheeseburger, you get the grilled chicken. You shove with pocket aces. And life looks back at you and says, not today. But here's what poker players understand that a lot of people don't. Losing with the best hand, that doesn't mean you made the wrong decision. Sometimes you simply lose. That's variance. That's poker. That's life. You know, every poker player has that hand, not the one they won, the one they still think about. The one that randomly pops in your head while you're brushing your teeth or driving to work, or lying in bed trying to fall asleep. Mine starts with pocket aces. I've been fortunate enough to win tournaments. I've chopped tournaments, I've satellite the bigger ones. I've had some really fun runs and had some scores I'm incredibly proud of. But somehow through it all, I still don't own a damn trophy. And if you play tournament poker, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's just something different about a trophy. It's tangible. You can put it on a shelf. You can look at it years later and remember every hand, every bluff, every suck out, every miracle river you hit or survived. Money comes, money goes. Trophies? Well, trophies tell stories. And there was this one tournament where I was convinced this was finally going to be my story. I'm sitting there, damn near the top of the chip count, and we're getting close to final table. Keep in mind, it's a trophy event. The room starts getting quieter. People are tightening up. You can almost smell the nerve. The chip leader opens up the action. I peel my cards. Pocket aces. I remember thinking, finally, this is it. I move all in. Without hesitation, the chip leader snap calls. 9-10 of diamonds. And I remember thinking, what in the world are you doing? Later, he'd go on to tell me that he didn't realize I had as many chips as I did. Fantastic. So now my tournament life depends on an accidental call. Dealer spreads the night. 9 blank blank. Okay. Not an ideal flop, but still ahead, still breathing. Turn, 10, silence. Just like that, he makes 2 pair. River, brick, tournament over. No trophy. Again. I remember walking away frustrated, confused, wondering how many times do I have to climb this mountain? But you know what's funny? I don't tell that story because I want sympathy. Honestly, I wouldn't change it. Because every time something like that happens, I get a little bit better. I review my hands more. I study more. I watch better players. I ask more questions. I become a little more patient. I become a little more disciplined, a little more dangerous. I'm not chasing trophies anymore because I think poker owes me one. Poker doesn't owe me a damn thing. Life doesn't owe me a damn thing. I'm chasing it because every single day I'm becoming the kind of player who can earn one. And I genuinely believe one day I'm going to lift that trophy above my head. Not because I got lucky, not because Varian smiled on me, but because I put in the work. And when that day comes, ladies and gentlemen, we're having ourselves a whaleabration. What? What do you mean you don't know what a whaleabration is? Well, allow me to educate you. If you're new to poker, a whale is a player everybody wants sitting at their table. They gamble. They splash chips around. They order the expensive bourbon. They buy steaks for the table. They live like tomorrow isn't guaranteed. Now, before someone clips us and says Poker Ryno says go punt your bankroll. No, absolutely not. Protect your bankroll. I'm talking about something completely different. I'm talking about something that leads to celebrating the wins that matter. Because somewhere along the way, adults forgot to celebrate. When you're a kid, you ace a spelling test. Your parents take you out for ice cream. Hit a home run, pizza party. Graduate, family barbecue. You become an adult, you accomplish something huge, and people go, cool. No, 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 no. We're bringing celebration back. You win your first tournament, Whaleabration. You pay off a credit card, Whaleabration. You lose 100 pounds, Whaleabration. You finally get that promotion, Whaleabration. You beat cancer? Well, all right, you beat cancer, that's not just a Whaleabration. That's a damn national holiday. Life spends enough time punching us in the mouth. When finally something goes right, don't apologize for celebrating it. Order the steak. Get the lobster. Have the oysters Rockefeller. Eat the mashed potatoes with way too much gravy. Order dessert. Have a cold beer. Maybe a glass of the bubbly. Take a picture. Laugh until your stomach hurts because someday those memories will be worth more than the money. And yes, the official Whaleabration meal looks suspiciously like my dream dinner, a perfectly rare steak, a giant lobster tail, oysters Rockefeller, pumpkin pie with whipped cream, a cold Asahi Brewmaster Select, maybe a glass of dry rosé. Now that's a Whaleabration. Life's too short to save the good meals for funerals. Celebrate while you got something to celebrate. And honestly, guys, speaking of celebrating, I want to take a minute to congratulate someone. Caitlin Komeski, making it all the way to day 6 of the WSOP main event and finishing in 105th. That's incredible. Like, seriously, congrats. For people who don't play poker and look at 105th place and think, oh, she didn't win. Poker players hear 105th and immediately know how ridiculous that accomplishment is. You survived thousands of players. 6 days of mental warfare. Bad beats, coolers, long hours, pressure. Now that's something to be proud of. And honestly, It's another reminder that success isn't always measured by holding a trophy. Sometimes success is proving you belong in that room. Congrats, Caitlin. I hope you have one hell of a Whaleabration. Now let's talk about the strangest relationship I have in poker. Las Vegas. Vegas. It's been weird to me. Because apparently, if I'm not playing a WSOP tournament, I'm unstoppable. Couple of nights at the Orleans, first or second. Planet Hollywood, man, I miss that room. Well, their afternoon tournament they used to have, first or second. Every single morning, I'd drag my ass into the horseshoe, usually half asleep, probably carrying way too much caffeine. Sit down at their morning daily and somehow, first or second, over and over and over. Then I'd register a bracelet event and Vegas would look at me, cross its arms and say, "Oh, you thought this was going to continue? Absolutely not." The variance is undefeated, and honestly, I love that. Because poker has a way of keeping your ego exactly where it belongs. You never figure out this game completely. You just keep learning. And I wouldn't have it any other way. Speaking of Vegas, there's one more confession I have to make. And it has absolutely nothing to do with poker. It has everything to do with Kelly Clarkson. All right, one more confession. Every time I go to Vegas, every single time, I tell myself the exact same thing. This is the trip. I'm finally going to see Kelly Clarkson. Every single trip. And every single trip, I somehow convince myself, well, she's just a guilty pleasure. I could spend the $100 on a concert, or I could fire another tournament. And guess which one wins? Every time. Another daily. Another satellite. Another cash game. Another bracelet event. And another excuse. And before I know it, I'm sitting on the plane flying home thinking, damn it, next year. Now, before anybody starts clipping this, yes, I know she's probably not sitting around waiting on old Poker Ryno. But if by some miracle she ever hears this, Kelly, I've been trying to come see your show for years. One day I'm going to make it happen. I mean, you've got to support the future Mrs. Reyes, right? Come on, a man can dream. But joking aside, there's actually a lesson there. The tournaments will always be there. The cash games will always be there. Life doesn't always give you another opportunity. Go to the concert. Take your spouse on a trip. Take your kids to Disney. Go fishing with your dad. Have lunch with your grandma. Don't spend your whole life prepping for tomorrow that you completely missed today. Because tomorrow isn't guaranteed. You know, people think poker teaches you how to gamble. I don't think that's true at all. I think poker teaches you how to lose. And that's an incredibly important skill. Because everyone loses. Everybody. Relationships, jobs, friendships, dreams, health, money, confidence. Everyone gets cracked eventually. Sometimes you make the perfect play and lose anyway. Sometimes you shove with pocket aces and somebody catches running cards. Sometimes you do everything right and life still says, not today. That doesn't mean you failed. It means variance showed up. And here's the beautiful thing about poker. We have a word that the world doesn't use enough. Rebuy. What a beautiful word. You lose everything? Rebuy. Bad tournament? Rebuy. Bad session? Rebuy. Tomorrow's another tournament. Life should work the same way. Didn't get the job? Rebuy. Relationship ended? Rebuy. Had a rough day? Rebuy. Clear your head. Get some sleep. Wake up tomorrow, shuffle again. Don't let one bad river convince you that the deck is forever against you. See, there's one story that reminds me of that better than anything. The last time I saw my grandma, she was picking me up to take me to Trudy's in Dripping Springs. Trudy's is a Tex-Mex establishment in the Austin area in Dripping Springs. I was going to meet some friends. We were going to eat, have a few drinks, tell some stories, have a few drinks, laugh and party, and, well, have some more drinks. She volunteered to drive me, not because she had to, but because she loved me. She didn't want me driving home after drinking. That's just who she was. She was always taking care of people. On the way there, she missed the entrance to Trudy. Now, if you've ever seen that stretch of highway, you know people are moving fast. Instead of waiting for a safer place to turn around, she just made a U-turn. I looked over at her and I said, "Menina, I'm furious." Not because I was angry, but because I was scared. I remember telling her, "If you keep doing things like that, one day I'm going to get a phone call in the middle of the night telling me how something terrible has happened to you." She didn't argue. She didn't get defensive. She just looked at me and understood. She knew I wasn't speaking from frustration. I was speaking from love. When we got to Trudy's, I gave her a hug, and before I got out of the car, I told her, "I love you." Those were the last words I ever said to my grandma. Later that night, my phone starts ringing again and again and again. I think there were 15-something missed calls before I finally realized something was wrong. And when I answered, I learned that my grandma had passed away. It wasn't because of the U-turn. It wasn't a wreck. It was simply her time. Losing her hurt in a way that I don't ever know if I'll be able to fully describe. But even through all that guilt and all that grief, there's one thing I've never stopped being thankful for. The last thing she ever heard me say was, "I love you." I could have stayed irritated. I could have walked away. I could have let pride have the last word. Instead, love did. And I'll carry that with me for the rest of my life. You know, when I started writing this episode, I thought it was going to be about poker, about the Trash Panda, and my hatred for pocket aces, about bad beats, about trophies, but somewhere along the way I realized this episode really isn't about poker at all. It's about perspective. It's about understanding that sometimes the best hands lose. Sometimes your trophy gets delayed. Sometimes you dream and it takes longer to achieve it than you wanted. But that doesn't mean they're gone. I still don't have that trophy. Yet I know it's coming. Not because the poker gods owe me one, they don't. Not because I'm entitled to it, I'm not. Because every single day I'm becoming a better player than I was yesterday. I'm studying more. I'm learning more. I'm growing more. I'm making fewer mistakes and I'm trusting the process. And one day, when I finally hold that trophy over my head, we're going to have one hell of a Whaleabration. And we'll celebrate because we earned it, not because it was easy. And I hope you'll celebrate your wins too. Not just poker wins. Life wins. That promotion, the weight you lost, the debt you paid off, the sobriety anniversary, the graduation, your first apartment, the new job, the healthier doctor's appointments. Celebrate them. Life gives up enough reason to mourn. Don't forget to celebrate. Play the Trash Panda once in a while. Don't trust pocket aces too much. Call your parents. Call your grandparents if you're still lucky enough to have them. Tell your spouse you love them. Tell your kids you love them. Go see that concert and take that vacation. Eat the steak. Order the lobster. Have the pumpkin pie. Raise a glass with the people that matter because someday the cards are going to be in the air for the last time. And when that day comes, I hope the people you love never have to wonder whether you loved them. Tell them now, because life's too short to leave it unsaid. I am Poker Ryno. This has been Talk Nitty To Me. And until next time, run well, live better, be the nuts.